To quote Malcolm X, today in a courthouse in Washington, the chickens are coming home to roost and they will be roasted. But first, the latest with the nomination of the person and who could be the nation's first black female Supreme Court justice. She survived the weekend. The weekend after a nomination is always crucial for a potential Supreme Court pick. Keep in mind, the White House wasn't the only entity in Washington making sure there was no dirt on their nominee, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Republicans were looking for dirt to derail the nomination. The fact that you haven't heard anything, well, that's a very good thing for this nominee, a very good sign indeed. And joining us now to weigh in on the issue, some of the brightest minds in politics, we have Dr. Avis Jones-Deweever, the managing editor for Max Black Politics, and Dr. Rashawn from the University of Maryland and the Brookings Institution. Thanks for joining us this hour. Avis, I'll begin with you. An image, if you will, that many might have overlooked is a unified Congressional Black Caucus saying that they are ready to go to battle for Ketanji Brown Jackson. What do you make of that?
It's absolutely necessary, and I'm so glad to see them, in essence, having her back in this way. But we know what to expect from the Republicans. They are going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at her if they can. But I think it's very important that proactively they get messaging that, hey, slow your roll. We have her back. And I'm so happy to see the Congressional Black Caucus doing this. But they are joined by other organizations like the National Council of Negro Women, like the Black Women's Roundtable, like Win with Black Women, and so many other Black women organizations that have all come together to say, not on our watch.
And Rashawn, let's keep in mind that Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson comes with high qualifications in a traditional sense and a non-traditional sense. Traditional in the fact that she's a Harvard graduate. She was a law clerk for Stephen Breyer, the justice who's retiring, that she will replace once she gets through the confirmation process. And then the fact that she has this non-traditional background of being a federal public defender, someone who knows what's going on in the lay of the land in terms of experiencing what Americans go through, especially marginalized and people of color. So in the battle, however, for the polls this midterms, will the nomination of a black woman to the Supreme Court be enough to offset inflation? You're a sociologist in today's me society and the Republicans and their angst, which has greater gravitas right now, history or the pain at the pump?
Well, look, make no mistake, this is historic. I mean, people have to recognize what is happening here. To have a black woman nominated to be on the Supreme Court, and I'm pretty sure that she will ultimately be confirmed. And it's important for people to note that she has been confirmed 3 times before by the Senate, and she has actually had 3 Republicans vote for her. So part of thinking about this, some of this will be political theater as we move forward, but her record is impeccable. And when it comes to thinking of people who are potentially not just qualified, but overqualified and can really capture the experiences of marginalized groups from a variety of perspectives, she does that. At the same time, it's important to put President Biden's legacy in context. He was the vice president of the first black president. He then selected the first black Indian woman to be his vice president. And now he is selecting the first black woman to be on the Supreme Court. We have to put that in perspective. And as much as all of these promises have been made that have not came to fruition, the things that Biden can control with his selections are a big deal. With that being said, people have to recognize how big of a deal this is, but it's hard to do that when people are paying $4 and $5 a gallon to get gas, when people's rents are going through the roof, and of course, when people are paying attention to what's happening in Ukraine with Russia.
Rashawn, thank you for that perspective. And Avis, to his point, this is a big deal, no matter how you look at it. It is a very huge historic deal. And it's one of the reasons why the Black News Channel is so important, to be able to give a voice to this big deal, because it will fall by the wayside on some networks as they continue to focus, rightly so, what's going on in Ukraine. But getting to the point that this is an historic nomination that the President of the United States vowed he would make when he was a candidate, and now he has done so and followed through. So when she comes up against any kind of objection from Republicans who will say that she's far left, keep in mind she's also someone who has had law enforcement experience in terms of law enforcement people in her family. She can bring to the table with all of those justices some context and some conversations that may help them see through the lens of Black Americans. How valuable is that compared to the other black Supreme Court Justice, Clarence Thomas, who is not so much in tune with Black America?
That is putting it mildly, Kelly. Absolutely. It's very important to me to have the first Black person on the Supreme Court since Thurgood Marshall stepped down, in my eyes. And this is exactly the role that she will fill. Now, in terms of the criticisms of the Republican Party, what do they expect? And really, it's very hard for me. I need to really put on a microscope to find my little tiny violin to play for their complaining, because I'm looking at a Supreme Court right now that is packed with right-wing justices. Not to forget about the last one that they pushed through literally days before a presidential election that they lost. And I'm looking at all of the different decisions that they have made with that right-wing ideology that has further weakened voting rights, that have weakened women's rights in order to have choice with regards to their body and their reproductive choices. I am looking to the future in terms of future cases that are going to be on the Supreme Court, in front of the Supreme Court, like things around affirmative action and others. And so it's very hard for me to feel any sort of sympathy with them with their arguments about her being left wing. It's not true, number one, but she should be left. She's being nominated by a Democratic president. And we need some level of balance to the court, which is really off kilter now in the far right direction. We need someone that's going to help pull it back.
Yeah, and Rashawn, the point here, of course, is that she will not change the court's makeup, but she can add to the court's deciding what really constitutes law, and not looking at it from a political lens, but actually bringing law, the true essence of the Constitution, so that it's equal for all and justice for all, and not just some.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, part of what Justice Breyer stated about her, and this is one of the things that Republicans worry about, not only does she have all of these different positionalities that we've been describing, from being on both sides of the aisle, on both sides of the bench, but also having law enforcement in her family, having the support of the Fraternal Order of Police, having the support of different identity groups. They not only worry that she can position herself, and as Justice Breyer said, put herself in other people's shoes, but they are worried that she is going to be able to help other justices do the same. And in that regard, she's going to be able to influence the decision making of even some of the more conservative justices who might be can be swayed to the moderate area on some issues. The other big thing people have to pay attention to is not only the votes, but the opinions, the written opinions and the oral opinions that will set the tone for history for generations to come. So this is a big deal in terms of not just what she's going to vote on, but also the words that she is going to convey to the American people and the rest of the world on issues that are pertinent to not only the Black community, but to the marginalized experience in the United States.